Good morning. This is Jay Trekker 717, and you have reached Jay Trekker 717 Broadcasting. How are you doing this morning? All right, what is going on today? We got some pretty bad news on this news break. Car fleeing Border Patrol slams into parked semi-truck, killing 7. This is a very, very bad scene. Let's take a look at this. Multiple fatalities occurred in El Paso this morning when a car full of people fleeing the border from patrol officers struck a parked semi-trailer. Crash occurred around 2:15 a.m. on June 25th at the intersection Paciano Street and San Antonio Avenue in downtown El Paso, Texas. Okay, this is a pretty bad scene. There was a silver Chevy Cruze, I think it was, and there was 10 people in that car, which is a lot of people in for that car, and they were trying to escape Border Patrol and ran into a semi-truck trailer, and 7 people lost their lives. So let's take a look at this scene real quick. Okay, what we're looking at right now is the semi-truck actually leaving, the actual tow truck, I should say, leaving the scene of the accident. Okay, this is the actual scene here, and what we're seeing in the top left is the accident scene, and then in the top right you can see the Border Patrol and the police officer going underneath the tape there, investigation tape, and at the bottom left you can see the actual vehicle, which was a Chevy Cruze, which had 10 people in that car, which is a very small car for 10 people. And then in the bottom right you can see the trailer that they actually ran into, where 7 lives were taken today because of the accident. And what we're seeing here is the actual vehicle, and it looks like it's in very bad condition. You can see the blood on the back of it. Okay, that was a very bad scene. As we seen the vehicle being towed away on the tow truck, you could see the blood on the side of the vehicle. Very tragic scene. We're praying for the family members on that one. Okay, what else is going on? What else is going on? Okay, as a truck driver, this is our favorite time of the year. We love the summertime, but in the summertime comes more patrol. Yes, that week-long driver enforcement blitz, just a couple of weeks away. Okay, yes, I know. As the coronavirus 19 crisis continues, one of the biggest commercial vehicle safety alliances, CVSA, enforcement efforts is still on track to start in just a little over 2 weeks. CVSA says the Operation Safety Driver Week 2020 will take place throughout North America on July 12th through the 18th. July 12th through the 18th. In spite of upticks in coronavirus cases in many states, law enforcement will be increasing patrols on the lookout for unsafe driving behaviors performed by commercial vehicle drivers and passenger vehicle drivers. This year, the pandemic forced the CVSA to indefinitely postpone the International Road Check Blitz. We all know about the road check, where they just pull you over and check your vehicle. Scheduled May 5th through the 7th for the first time in the 32-year history. For the second year in a row, the area of emphasis on Operation Safety Drive Week will be speeding by both commercial vehicle drivers and passenger vehicle drivers. So it's not just CDLs, it's going to be also passenger. So if you're driving and you're not in your truck, you might want to be careful too as well. For the second year in a row, an area emphasis on Operation Safety Drive Week will be on speeding both commercial drivers and passenger drivers. I've already said that. During the last year operation of Safety Driver Week, commercial vehicle drivers will be issued was issued 1,454 citations and 2,121 speeding ticket warnings. That was a lot of speeding tickets. So be very careful out there this time of year. This safety blitz is going on, and they're going to have patrols out there just looking for speeding tickets. So be careful out there, especially even if you're not driving a truck. You want to be careful driving your vehicle as well. All right. Okay. Trucker sentenced to prison for shooting two following bizarre truck stops assault at robbery. Okay. Looking at this situation, I've said it and talked to other truck drivers is that your truck is your safety zone. You want to make sure your doors are always locked. And you don't want to let someone in your truck. I know, we're human beings, and especially you have a lot of single truck drivers out there, and they want to entertain guests, female guests, and sometimes those situations go really bad real quick. And once they know what's in your truck and what type of cash or jewelry or something that you may have, that they may want, it can get pretty dangerous. And this is what happened to this truck driver. Okay, on Tuesday, a truck driver was sentenced to prison for a 2008 truck stop shooting involving multiple prostitutes that left and theft of a large amount of cash. 63-year-old truck driver Randall Neil McCarty was sentenced to 7 years after he was convicted on 2 counts of discharging a firearm with the intent to wound or endanger the life, of 1 count of possessing a firearm without a license. Okay, so what happened, this was a 2018 incident. A truck driver hired 4 prostitutes is what he claimed. And he had $40,000. He didn't like banks, which doesn't make any sense to me, to keep that type of cash in your truck. But he basically hired these prostitutes. They found out he had a large sum of cash. They came back with a couple, and they robbed him and took $13,000. And as he was getting away, he had a shotgun in his truck, and he unloaded under the pickup truck that was driving away and killed people. And because of it, he's saying that he was just trying to protect himself because they were beating him up and taking his money. And they said they were just driving up, and he just unloaded on them. So he ended up spending 7 years in prison because of the fact that he, shot and killed someone in a truck. Again, don't let someone in your truck. Even if you're driving down the freeway and I know you want to be, I always say we need to be more a caring nation and help people out. But there's so many times I've seen people needing help on the side of the road, and it's just like, I'm not taking the chance of letting you get in my truck and something happens. You pull out a knife and, you want something in my truck that I just didn't go down that avenue. And I think a lot of truck drivers end up going down that avenue, and it doesn't end very nicely. So be careful out there. Make sure you keep those doors on that truck locked. All right. What else is going on? Warning issued and spike in cargo theft in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay. Memphis, Tennessee is probably, they used to call it the murder capital of the world. It was a very high crime area. So when you're driving through Memphis, you need to keep in mind that you in an area where there might be a lot of high theft. And that's what's going on here. A company that monitors cargo was issued a warning to truckers after a significant increase in large-scale crime targeting truckers in Memphis, Tennessee. So they're targeting these truckers in Memphis, Tennessee. SenseGuard recently issued a warning to truckers following an uptick in pilferage cargo thefts in southeastern Memphis. The company says the cargo thieves have been targeting variety of types of goods in the overnight hours while truckers wait in their, to enter the facility. So you know how you pull over to the side of the road, waiting to go in. You're right outside the gate. You think you're safe, and they're pillaging your truck while you're sleeping. And definitely, if you don't have a lock on the back of the truck, they're just gonna open it up and take it out. But even if you have a lock, it's not hard to take a hammer and hit that lock and knock it open. A lot of people walk around with bolt cutters, so those are things you need to keep in mind. And this company that kind of monitors that type said there's a lot going on in Memphis. So if you're in Memphis and you're unloading, make sure you keep eye out, because they're robbing people in Memphis. All right, some of the things they want you to do. These are good ideas of things that you need to think about, especially if you're delivering in Memphis. Minimize the overnight waits as much as possible. Okay, so they don't want you staying overnight. There were times when, as a driver, we would not be allowed to stay overnight in certain cities. It just wasn't allowed. It's like, if you're in this area, you cannot stop. You cannot stay overnight. If you're not on the facility property with a locked fence and gate, you're not stopping. That's basically what they told us. Try to park inside the facility lot instead of on the street. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like I said, when you're inside the facility, they monitor, because they got a lot of freight in there. So they monitor those. They have guards and security guards and things of that nature. So that's pretty safe place. High security seals and hardened padlocks require more than just bolt cutters to remove. So they're talking about the higher, the bigger, thicker locks, where you can't just grab a bolt cutter and open it. I mean, some locks are pretty hard to open even with bolt cutters. They're called high security locks. They cost a little bit more money than a regular lock, and you know, it's one of those things where it's kind of a double-edged sword, because you put that high security lock on it, you drop the trailer, you forget to take the lock. Now they can't get the freight out of the trailer because she got the lock on the trailer. So what happens? You're down the road and there's someone, your dispatcher calls you, says, "Hey, you left the lock on the trailer." So you got to go back and unlock that trailer. All right. Place a heavy gauge wire seal. Now I've seen those wire seals; they're pretty thick, and again, you can't really cut them with a bolt cutter. It takes some real ingenuity to get those wire cutters off of the bolt cutters. Won't do it. Law enforcement, report to law enforcement any suspicious vehicles or individuals seen outside the distribution center. So again, you're outside the distribution center, you see somebody driving around looking or pillaging in somebody else's truck or trailer, call the police. Get on that phone. Be alert of any vehicles following you. Of course, that's always, anytime you're in a truck, anywhere, you see somebody following you, yeah, you need to report that, especially to the police or anybody else. Dispatcher, you can call your dispatcher, safety department at your trucking agency. Okay, what else is going on? Rand McNally delivers Trucker's Bible for the 40th time. Okay. They call them Trucker's Bible. We all know they're the maps and things of that nature. Okay, this is what the Motor Carrier 2021 maps look like. And they got a nice little Freightliner Cascadia on the cover of it. Looks like a KLM Freightliner. All right, it's good news. Okay, the 40th anniversary edition of the Motor Carrier Road Atlas, published by Rand McNally, is now available at traveling centers, bookstores, and e-commerce stores online. So you can get it online as well. The 2021 edition Atlas features updated trucking accessible roads, state trucking regulations, fuel tax charts, considered to be the Bible of the trucker travel. The Atlas is available in paperback as version in the laminated pages and stays flat in a spiral binding. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in this trucker, and you guys pretty much know about that actual Rand McNally. Some of the things is in there's a 22-page mileage directory that includes more than 40,000 truck route specific to city mileages. So that's pretty good. Revised restricted routes, low clearance, and weight station locations is very important for a truck driver. Okay, updated review of hazardous material regulations, hotlines for road constructions and conditions, updated toll system contact information for each state. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that actual book. So make sure you pick one up. All right. Okay, that is it for today's broadcast. Again, I say no load is worth your life. Be safe out there as a driver. We appreciate what you're doing. You are the essential personnel, making sure all of the product gets delivered to us. Every time I order something from Amazon, I think of a truck driver. I said, somebody delivered this. I remember the Amazon accounts at Snyder National, different major corporations had that Amazon account. It's always a pretty decent account to actually drive on. But thank you for what you do, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this broadcast to keep us going, and hit that notification bell. We're going to end with the weather broadcast, so you can take a look at the weather. And this is J Trucker 717. Peace. I'm out of here.
All right, here's a look at your national forecast over the next couple of days. Friday's a day where we're really going to have to watch out for some severe weather. Could get especially nasty in parts of the upper Midwest, northern Illinois, parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, etc. Some nasty, damaging wind in some of those storms, so be prepared for that. Saturday, the severe threat's going to move a little bit farther toward the northeast, along with just some rain. So generally just a rainy day in the northeast on Saturday. Still some rain down in the Ohio Valley. Nice and dry in the west. We really start quite a cooling trend that's going to last all the way through the weekend and actually into the beginning of next week as well. And then Sunday, look at Denver, 96, still pretty warm for you guys, but Sacramento at 85 is actually not too shabby. Still some lingering showers in parts of the Ohio Valley, parts of the Appalachians, and a few of them still in the southeast, but it's not all day rain. It's very hit or miss.